Okay, honestly, I don't even want to like. I almost don't even want to. I haven't decided whether I want to do this regular format or just blow everything up and just do a raw episode, like segments and everything.
Well, I'll tell you this much.
What?
If you don't do regular format in part of segments, I'm gonna ask about it.
Ask about why?
I'm gonna be like, yo, can we do a suit up section?
Whatever, fine. Let's just start the show. I'm gonna go. Let's go. Turn off your mic. Let's do the intro like this.
Live and Rock is brought to you in part by ShifterMagazine.com, your source for entertainment news, reviews, and interviews. Plus, amazing resources and how-tos for the independent artist in you. Check them out at ShifterMagazine.com. It's another episode of Live and Rock. That's right. It's show for creative soul.
Most artists cannot be comfortable stuck in one box. That's right.
And that's what this podcast is about. It's not just filmmaking, but creative pursuits in general.
The creative life, whether it's music, whether it's writing, whether it's painting, illustrating,
photography,
dancing, whatever it is.
Make some noise, rock the world before your time runs out. Let them know what you're about and just make some noise. Rock the world no matter what your game. Make sure the whole world remembers your name. Make some noise, rock the world before my time runs out. You know what I'm about. I'ma make some noise, rock the world. So when I'm out the
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode 18 of Live and Rock. We are rocking live. Yeah, this episode is going to be very different. We always have a great episode, but this episode is different. Yes. It's kind of a heart-to-heart.
Yeah, that's kind of a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We're recording here in my humble abode while everybody's at Super Bowl parties. Yeah, and it's just Shell Rock and CDH Live.
And a bowl of tea, a cup of tea,
and a Pop-Tart.
But none for me, apparently.
I offered.
You didn't offer me tea. You offered me Pop-Tart and water.
What do you think tea is? Tea is water. It's just hot.
Yeah, but you don't. Okay, but it's not just water, hot water. Shut up. There is something in it. It's called a tea bag. That's why it's tea. I'm not
supposed to be laughing already, actually, because in this heart-to-heart episode, I have a bit of a paradox.
Why?
Because all week I've been getting more and more excited.
About what?
About sharing how unexcited I am. Because there's been so much on my chest.
Well, so if nothing else at all, we can agree on that, really. Well, not necessarily agree. I'm not excited about sharing how unexcited I am. But that is a very interesting take on it. That comment itself kind of got me interested and intrigued and excited about this episode.
It's a bittersweet feeling.
Yeah. But I guess we're going to get into all of that and eventually at some point in this episode. This episode, really and truly, folks, listeners, it's going to be really raw. You may or may not get some of the standard features, but like my brother said,
I'm going to push for it.
and we'll see what happens.
TV timeouts.
Hey, you know what comes along with the concept of heart to heart?
What's that?
It reminds me of sweet talking and
goodness. Is that why you got this? and vibes playing in the background.
No, but I mean, it is February, and besides Super Bowl month and Black History Month, it's also the month of quote unquote love. And since we're kind of having a heart to heart, if you really want those segments today, given how harsh I feel on the inside, you might want to start by buttering me up.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I have a knife big enough for that, but then again, I'm not even sure if I want you to be buttered up right now.
All right. So for the benefit of those who are new, before we get too far off the beaten path,
Just so you know, this is actually a creative show for creative souls.
That's right. That's right.
And what we're doing right now is giving you insight to the creative life. That's what we are all about here at Live and Rock.
Yep.
We want to showcase and demonstrate for you what it's like to be an independent artist on that journey to success, however you may define it.
Yeah.
Oftentimes that is just actually making a living as a full-time creator.
Or aspiring to make your first dime.
Yeah,
in many cases.
And hopefully along the way we will get to, actually we've already spoken to some people who are making some decent revenue from their creative crafts.
Yeah. And that's actually one of the aspects of this show that kind of has me cheesed.
What? How's that?
The part of the reason why I'm not so excited, we're kind of in a funk in this episode, because the fact of the guests that we have on the Live and Rock show, they're great, but I've been having sort of an identity crisis, mixed feelings about how the interviews themselves have been coming off, and we're going to talk about that later on in this episode.
Yeah, we are going to talk about that.
That's part of our issue. We're
having. I gotta say, by the way,
what?
I like how this is sounding right now. The cleanliness and the clarity coming through on the microphone.
Right.
I think we finally seems like that extra hour of setup time you put in today has been.
Really and truly, I like to take credit, but really and truly, it's not really me so much as our beloved Spreaker podcasting app
that we featured on the last episode.
Yes.
Suit Up.
And that so there was an update. And
another thing, this is like this is unfair how you were thinking about depriving our whole experience from music, because music is like the lifeblood, you know what I mean? Even if it's not at full blast all the time, just hearing the vibe of the music makes this life work.
Okay, but listen to me, and Live and Rock listeners. As much as music is very much, I guess, a bit of the heart and soul, or one of the things that we like, and the uniqueness of Live and Rock show, if it's not working, something ain't working, it just ain't working. And for the last 3 episodes straight, I've had major issues with the background music and the levels and the mic and all that. Okay. And we're supposed to get into this later on, but
yeah, we will.
The bottom line is that's what has contributed to me being so much at my wit's end that I was determined, to just chuck everything out today, and we're just going to do a raw episode sans the background music.
Yeah,
for you French people.
If that was the case, I would have pushed for some music in post-production.
But yeah, true. But thankfully for you, more than anyone else, thankfully for you, our friends at Spreaker surprised me with an update that has made it quite beautiful.
Speaking of
updates, I'll tell you what the update is and why I've started to use the music later on in the show. We'll get into feature conversation.
Okay.
But before we get into the feature conversation, I want to shout anybody out before we go into the timeout.
Yeah. I wanted to say, I'll do this after the TV timeout. Shout out Shifter, as always.
Okay.
Because, that's our spot, our online destination for articles, how-tos, and our new media partner / sponsor.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody who's been... or welcome, I should say, even to more and more listeners coming in through Shifter.
Shifter magazine, yeah, magazine.com.
Yeah,
because it's not a print magazine. 24/7 available though, 365 in this new millennium. Yeah, sorry.
Shout out Milo. What's going on?
There you go. Good.
Milo Flex.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a shame that you're not here, but I know you're cooking up a storm for the fam for your Super Bowl party. True. So we'll catch you on the next one.
Yes. Hopefully he's on the next episode, and that's another aspect we're going to touch on in the feature conversation.
There's a lot to go. In this episode. So I'll just say real quick, speaking of updates, in case I forget to mention it, I just downloaded the new update to Logic Pro.
Okay.
And oh my goodness.
All right. And now, okay, see, maybe we could talk about that in the suit up section. Maybe that's what you should talk about. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now I'm getting a little bit warm. Okay. Now I'm feeling a little bit nice. Okay. So I think that's enough for the intro. That's the longest intro I think we've ever had.
Yes,
so let's
indeed.
take a quick TV timeout.
Yeah.
And then come back and get into some of that pop talk to get us even more excited and even more warmed up.
I like
get
it.
hot and ready for that fiery feature conversation. Sound good, bro?
I like that.
All right. Now let Nicki Minaj take us out on the 3s, the 2s, the 1s. Yeah.
You could just say the music.
Shut up. All right, the mic is back on, Mr. CDH Live.
Yes,
So
the mic is on.
I was just asking you if you know that tune, and you say what?
Yeah, well, we are supposed to be doing a TV timeout, and
That is a TV timeout. That's straight from TV.
what TV show is that from?
This guy, okay. It's a show that was on TV about a superhero,
Oh,
but
a
it wasn't
superhero
really
show.
about a superhero.
What do you mean it wasn't?
And it
really?
ran for about 9-ish seasons, I think.
What are you talking about? Smallville?
Yeah, ding, 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 ding. I think we got a winner.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. See, I know some things.
Yeah. For the new listeners, CDH Live is not the Marvel superhero buff of the two.
That is very true. I am not.
I am representing for the nerd culture on this show, and CDH Live's more heavy on the music and
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I wanted to say a quick shout out to Colin A.T. Jones and Mad Sketch. Some of the listeners who've been, putting that love out on
What?
our YouTube channel, El God.
Guy, where are all these? How come I don't see all of these?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Roslyn, shout out.
You got Mad Sketch put something up there, yo?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
So yeah,
All right.
just wanted to shout you guys out. I know we don't do it all the time, but
Well, we do a lot of
appreciate
shout
it.
outs, I think. I mean, especially
that.
in the earlier episodes.
Very
all you new
true.
listeners, go back. Go
Yeah.
back dig into the crates, as they used to say back in the
Right,
days. Go
right.
digging in the crates.
You know what
Past
I'm thinking,
episodes
man?
of Live and Rock on iTunes.
We're doing this podcast handheld, and I'm realizing now why most shows have their mic on a stand. Because
no
I'm like,
kidding, bro.
yeah,
This entire show has been a work in progress from day one. So like we're slowly building up different equipment, different tools that we need to then just get slowly getting more and more professional as opposed to just a hobby. So
Very true,
Put
very
that on
true.
put that on the next on your list is the mic stands.
if you guys hear some crinkling, I'm just finishing my Pop-Tart.
Okay, so seriously,
Yeah.
time is running, and we're supposed to be doing pop talk, and you're yamming pop tart.
Good.
What you're feeling is supposed to be about what you're feeling entertainment wise, not what you're filling your belly
Have you
with.
heard Jerry Seinfeld's take on Pop-Tarts?
Wow. Okay. Tell me Jerry Seinfeld's take on pop tarts.
No, I can't do it. You got to look it up.
Oh my gosh, this
Research
guy.
there. It's actually, I don't think it's one of his best bits, but
Okay.
I can't really think of Pop-Tarts anymore without thinking about it.
Okay. Well, I think that's kind of soft that you bring it up and you're not going to say anything. So just because you did that, I'm going to put you in the hot. I'm going to put you in the hot seat and make you tell us the first thing in Pop Talk.
Yeah, I just said
what you're feeling. Anything you're feeling. As a matter of fact, even if it's not particularly pop culture, but anything you're feeling right now.
Like I just said,
what?
Comedians in cars getting coffee.
What about it? We talked about it before.
We have talked about it before, but he's still rocking it live.
Okay.
He did his first episode of his new season was President Barack Obama.
What?
And his most recent episode was Will Ferrell. So
hold on. So he got a Barack Obama on the show?
Yeah.
What the heck?
In the White House.
In the White House? So he picked him up at the White House?
Yeah, man.
What
you gotta go
heck?
see it. It's nice.
It's on YouTube still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or you could go to his website, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
True. What is with the Barack Obama thing of late? Like, first the Mark Maron,
right,
and then now Seinfeld. Like, why?
But he's that's been part of his like publicity style.
Who?
Remember he did Barack Obama. The first one I remember was Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis.
I don't know what the heck that is.
Oh,
what the hell is Between Two Ferns?
For those of you who are not as, I guess, online savvy in your in your entertainment,
whatever. Shut up.
That's
because I'm too busy making entertainment and perfecting my craft.
Right. Anyway, yeah, Funny or Die. That's a website created by Will Ferrell and
I've heard of that. Yeah, Funny or Die.
And Zach Galifianakis does this kind of spoof public access talk show style kind of thing.
Oh, for real?
And he had Barack Obama as a guest on it.
Wow.
So it's like a fake interview.
Yeah. Wait, how can it be a fake interview if Barack Obama's there? Like the real Barack Obama's there?
Yes.
So how is it a fake interview? Like if there's someone else there playing Barack Obama, then I see how you can make it like a SNL skit.
I said it's like a fake interview because he's not really asking him serious questions. Zach Galifianakis is a character as the interviewer.
Okay. So it's a real interview, but it's a funny interview because he's not asking real questions. He's asking questions that probably are like funny and make no rational sense.
Right.
Why would you be asking?
You gotta check it out.
Okay.
If we were doing post-production, we'd throw in an audio clip, but
no post-production. Sorry. That ship sailed like 6 months ago. And actually, honest, as you mentioned that was one of the things I was thinking about when I was contemplating no music today. I was like, wow, if we really do no music, it's going to be really freaky and weird.
Yeah.
Even though we started the show originally doing it no music, and we did it for a good 3-4 months like that. More than that.
I feel like I'm chomping loud. Can you
No, I can't even hear you.
Okay, good.
All right, so that's cool. So
yeah, there's that.
Comedians in Cars.
There's Chelsea Does on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's a little 4-part documentary series.
Oh, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she did the one about her getting married or not getting married, really.
Yeah, so she did 4, marriage, racism, drugs, and Silicon Valley.
Really? How come I don't know about those other ones? I know about the marriage one. I just saw that the other day.
4-part. I kind of liked it because it was just in that kind of comfortable space where it was non-committal.
Right.
So it was an hour long each, and I didn't have to sit and watch the whole hour at once.
Right.
It was like not super funny, but not super serious.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It was just kind of.
It was just kind of middle of the road, comfortable.
You know,
it's funny because
from work, you wanna just put something on while you
eat. Yeah, I know. I was just about to say that. Real talk. I was just about to say that. Like, it's funny that you say that it's gives you that vibe, that middle of the road, just kind of like not really bad or not really good, because that's exactly how I felt when I watched it. I was like, I just wanted, I literally, huh? Shut up, guy. No, this episode is gonna be bonkers. Yeah, right. Anyways, no, I literally said to myself when I watched that Chelsea special on Netflix, the wedding one, I literally said, like, okay, I'm grabbing something to eat. There's something that I actually really want to watch, that I'm looking forward to watch, but I want to watch it so so badly that I want my full attention. I don't want to watch it while I'm eating. I want to eat real quick and then go watch it. Right. So I said, let me get something that's at least, I just want to find something that is decent, but not that good that I want to get in. I don't want to get distracted and get into it. I just want to just good enough that it can keep me occupied while I eat and get on to the main course.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. That happens too often for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So speaking of that, we're just kind of
right now.
I was about to say, speaking of that, I feel
not that I actually care, but since it's the format.
Wow. And I was just about to kind of throw you a bone in this episode and just like, you know, be nice and speak to some of the things that you care about. Now I feel like I think I'm going to take that back. Right.
What's going on?
What a guy. You're lucky we're brothers. Actually, you're lucky we're brothers and that I'm used to it anyways. So it's par for the course. So I'll continue.
I actually was listening to our, not even our pilot, but our sort of sketch recording before we ever did our first episode.
Yes.
Just when we were talking about the idea of.
Yeah. Brothers talk.
Oh, I remember this. Anyway, what are you feeling right now?
No, well, what I was going to say, what I'm feeling I'm not feeling nothing entertainment wise or whatever.
Okay,
because I've been so
not feeling it. What have you been occupying your time with?
See, what I was really going to segue into, what I was going to say was that this section here that we're doing, the pop talk, I'm always feeling it. So you want to ask about what I'm feeling? This is what I'm feeling. I want to talk to you about this right now. So in general, this is my favorite part of Live and Rock.
Are you serious?
What do you mean, are you serious?
This segment?
Yes, the pop talk.
See, you got two different brothers here because as much as I'm like talking about what I'm feeling and whatnot, it's probably my least favorite part of the.
I know that. And that's why I was just about to segue and throw you a bone and let's talk about it. Because this is the episode where we're going to be having a heart to heart. Because a while ago you mentioned how, you know, Chelsea does whatever in the wedding thing. And it was just to pass the time, essentially. It wasn't bad, but it's just to pass the time.
Right.
And I feel like, and you've even expressed to me that this section of Live and Rock, the pop talk, for you really, it's kind of just to pass the time. It's just, you're just, you know, going along with it. It's a necessary evil. You don't hate it,
right?
But if it was up to you, you would definitely live without it. Like it's nothing you really look forward to. You don't really care to talk about anything. And and me, meanwhile, to me, it's like my fuel for the fire. It's like the feature conversation. As much as I love the feature conversation, I like that aspect of getting into some topics that, you know, relate to the creative life and the creative journey.
That can actually ignite your creative passion and...
Well, I don't know about it. See, to me and you are different. Because the future conversations, the topics we get into, for me, they're the academic side. So they're not going to ignite the emotional passion side of my creative journey. They're just the side that gives us a chance to explore and talk about things that I can start to apply and help myself get further on the like structure and academic side of pursuing a creative career. Whereas the pop talk section is where I get inspired and I get hyped to know about other things that are like what I'm going to aspire to, like seeing other successful TV shows or comedians or musicians. And there are obviously already out there commercial artists, right? That entertainment part, that's the part I want to talk about because it fuels my fire. Like,
okay, well, I guess I'll have to say that we're definitely two different people because for me, I'm just like, I watch it when I need that. I watch the things like I watch Mark Maron. I'll listen to the podcasts I listen to, and I don't really feel a need to talk about it. To talk about it on as my own content. The conversation. About it. But here we are.
But we talked about this, and we probably talk about it more in the future conversation. But you mentioned that offline when me and you were talking about this episode the other day. And again, I'll say to you, listeners, just as much as CDH Live is saying that, he doesn't really care about it. At the same time, when we do getting engaging conversations about things like Top 5, the movie, and all the things that came out of that conversation, or Nashville versus Empire, you need to go back to listen to those episodes, by the way, listeners.
Right.
CDH Live was very engaged and extremely articulate and very passionate about his points of view on those particular pieces of entertainment. And we talked very long. And honestly, in my opinion, those episodes were like great.
Okay.
In terms of just like the conversation that we had.
Sure. I guess it was good. Like I'm discounting everything you just said. Here's the thing. For me, it's like it's kind of like going to a movie theater,
right?
So for a lot of people, they're all about the actual experience of going, paying for your ticket, getting your popcorn, sitting in a dark room with 1,000 other people, having the big
communal
screen.
Experience.
Yeah, all of that.
Yes,
it's great. Like I love going to movies, but if I really want to watch a movie, I'll watch it at home. Like I don't have to be at the movies in order. I'm not gonna say I'm not watching that movie unless I can see it in the theater. Unless it's like Star Wars, which I just saw.
Well, yeah, I was about to say because some movies you need the theater for the like action, sci-fi, superhero, like those things you want to see them in the spectacle, the big screen. Like you want to be transported to another world. That's the part of the point of those types of movies.
Yeah, those kinds of movies. But here's the point I'm trying to get at. It probably wasn't a great analogy. But the point I'm trying to get at is that in terms of conversating about the things I consume and so on in pop culture, I don't feel like I need to have a conversation about it with somebody.
Right.
Very rarely.
Right.
Like if I feel the need to conversate about it, then that means it like blew my mind.
Yeah.
And then I want to find the right person who's going to appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than just like, I need to tell anybody.
Right. So that's part of the reason why, you just triggered another thought in my head. Okay, so we're in the What You Feeling section, Pop Talk. I hear what you're saying. We're almost done, but
okay. We've always had this kind of lingering kind of debate almost on what this section should permanently be called. We've been calling it Pop Talk.
Well, I was calling it What You Feeling until you said that it's called Pop Talk, but in my head it was still What You Feeling.
So there you go. That's the debate, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyways, you're getting us off track. So we're going to come back to this topic of, our debate about this whole section as far as it returns to Live and Rock a little bit later on in the feature conversation. We're going to come back to that. Right. But since this is the section about Pop Talk, the one thing I am feeling... partly as a result of this whole debate of our different opinions on this section, is my own new project.
Okay.
Which is my new blog.
Okay.
So I've been working on a brand new blog for the last 2 weeks. I haven't posted nothing yet.
This is interesting because I was planning to ask you about this stuff in the feature area.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out if it's fair for you to be bringing that up
No. I'm not going to talk about it in detail.
Or if you should actually say something that you've been consuming in the last little while.
I've been consuming my blog. Okay, no. I'm not going to talk about it. But no, the only reason why I'm saying it, I'm bringing it up, is that I'm just mentioning it to say that I'm starting a new blog.
Okay.
Because of our difference of opinion here. I love to talk about the entertainment that I like, that I take in. Okay. So here on Live and Rock, I get a taste of it. That itch gets scratched just a tiny bit through our Pop Talk section.
Okay.
So through the experience of the last few weeks and our discussions offline, I've decided to start a blog that is 1,000% about me ranting and raving and being able to talk about the stuff that I'm feeling. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so there's been some self-discovery through our therapeutic conversations with Craig.
Whatever. Good. So I'm glad you brought that up, because we're going to talk about your new project in the feature conversation, this Conversations With.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So folks, I think we belabored the what's the phrase again? The point. Belabored the point long enough.
Yeah.
I think that's quite enough of the What You Feeling / Pop Talk for this episode. Like we said, this is the heart to heart episode, in brackets, identity crisis, couples therapy.
Shout out Identity Crisis.
What? Who's Identity Crisis? I never heard of him.
Identity Crisis. He's an artist out of Mississauga, Toronto.
You see the hold on. You see the difference between, I told you folks, I'm the nerd and CDH Live is the music guy, because I say Identity Crisis and all I think about is Marvel Comics and the whole Identity Crisis series.
Well, for me, I'm about connecting with real people. He's an artist that I connected first with over 10 years ago now.
Okay.
And he's still doing this thing. He's putting out videos.
What kind of artist, by the way? Music artist?
He is I'm not even sure what's the right category for him.
Okay.
He's like,
I'm just letting you know you're getting the last word for the Pop Talk by talking about this artist.
We'll shout him out. I don't know if he listens to the podcast.
Who cares?
But, yeah.
You put the listeners onto him. Since you clearly think he's a good artist, and this is what Live and Rock is about.
Because he's a serious artist who's passionate about his craft, and he's from right here in our hometown,
Saga City, Mississauga.
Yeah,
wicked.
Yeah, so
but you can't describe
crisis.
Where can we find his music, since you can't tell us what it's like and we have to find it for ourselves according to you.
Identitycrisis.com, or search him on Facebook.
Okay,
that kind of thing.
I'm going to give you an assignment to look it up, and by the end of the show, I want to hear a sample of Identity Crisis. In the meantime, since we've speaking of independent artists, let's get into our suit up section. Courtesy of Shifter Magazine, which is all about empowering and motivating and inspiring independent artists, regardless of your medium, recording artist, illustrator, writer like myself, or Lego aficionado like our last guest. Anyways, we're getting into our suit up section. That's right, Mel Fennell, shout out. We should have shouted her out at the top.
Yeah,
anyways,
shout out Inverted Access too.
True.
They've been getting a lot of growth on their website.
Yes, Mr. Malcolm and Mr. Pitts. I mean, motivating me. We had some discussions today, me and Malcolm, about some new articles he's doing, and I need that motivation because I'm about to embark on that journey of writing on a regular basis. So yes, let's suit up, both for ourselves and our listeners. Let's get into that suit up section on Live and Rock.
All right.
You suck. You totally missed your cue.
What, we're rocking live?
Yes.
Come on now.
Whatever. Okay. It's time to suit up on the ones, the twos, and the threes like this.
Suit up! Suit up! Suit up! You suited up! Snow suit up! Flight suit up! Penguin suited up! Suit up! You suited up! Birthday suited up! Slut up! Suit up! Suit up! Suited up! Suit up! Suit up! Space suit up! Suit up!
You're good to go, bro. Good
Once
to go.
again, Suit Up section brought to you by Shifter Magazine. Online destination for articles, how-tos, inspiration.
You always forget the .com. When you don't say .com, you can assume it's just a print magazine. How are they going to get to it?
Shiftermagazine.com.
There you go.
Yes. Tweet at Shifter Magazine, all that good stuff. But yeah, so let's suit up. Here's a very cool thing that I just realized.
What?
Is that we always talk about suit up section.
Okay.
And we talk about something very specific.
Right.
In today's suit up section, what I wanted to talk about is the actual mindset of being suited up. Meaning that... Go ahead.
Wow. So you go on, preacher. You're taking on a preacher persona right now. Let's go. Preach it. Let's go. I'm ready. Where's my Bible?
This guy's joking.
Let's go.
Okay. But yeah, the mindset of being suited up.
Okay.
Meaning that you when you're a worker,
Yes.
you suit up with a variety of tools.
Yes.
You can't, if you're going to build a house, you can't just go with a hammer and that's all.
Right. Yes.
Right? So no matter what the task is, you need to use multiple tools.
True.
And often we get one tool and think that's all we need. For example.
Wow. Okay, go on. No, this is very simple, and it's blowing my mind because I've just never thought about taking a step back and looking at this section and just this whole concept of suiting up at all like this. So go on. I'm very intrigued so far. Go on.
Okay.
I'm being genuine.
For example,
Yes.
we are doing a podcast.
Right.
And you could say all we need is a mic. All we need is a phone.
Right.
But when you go technically that is all you need. That's how we started.
Yep.
But when
Literally.
you go with the mindset of I want to be suited up
Yes.
for whatever it is I want to build.
Yes.
It means all the tools that I have available, all the
Right.
resources that are within my reach.
Yes.
I want them within my reach. So
True.
now we have a microphone. We got the right software application.
Yes.
We got the music playlist. We got the audio interface to
Yes.
go into it.
Yes.
We got the websites up.
The computers up at our fingertips to pull up something. Yeah.
That's right. We got the graphic programs to make sure that our thumbnail images will suit the episodes.
Pixelmator, I gotta drop that in one day. Go on.
Yeah, there you go. So all these different things are tools for us to suit up with.
Right. Yes.
So that's what I wanted to talk about, is just that mindset of one tool is not necessarily always enough. And even sometimes you need more than one of the same kind of tool.
Yes.
Right?
Actually, okay, along that same line, that just occurred to me. So suiting up also with the mindset.
Right.
So you're embarking on a new creative journey or creative project. In this case, I'm going to take podcasting as an example, right? Or it doesn't even have to be podcasting, whatever it is. Maybe you want to be an artist or a writer. But you need to sometimes also suit up mentally, because you think like, especially in this DIY day and age where everything's on YouTube, and then you think you could just pick up and YouTube it or Google it and try it on your own, which is good to a certain extent. But I'm a huge advocate of listening to podcasts and seeking out information and knowledge and sometimes inspiration, encouragement, just to get through the hump of doing what you're doing. And that's about suiting up your mind, which is the other aspect of the suit up section, which we always try to do. We always recommend, not always, but I mean, lots of times we recommend different podcasts. And I have no idea whether or not our listeners are checking out these podcasts, and sometimes I question if they even realize the value of what it means to listen to them. I find listening to podcasts so invaluable because they motivate you. So we listen to Sean West podcast, is one we always talk about. That's right. There's so many times he just sets me on straight when I'm going through a day where I'm just like, man, I don't even want to do anything today, like creative wise. I'm able to listen to this podcast that is specifically designed and there to motivate people like me to do what we need to do and become successful as creatives. I've stumbled upon another one today called The Creative Journey. I only listened to one episode on speaker. Again, same thing. There to inspire and help creatives like us get through the hump, because we tend to be, of our nature, we tend to go through these extreme highs and lows. You know what I mean? Exactly. And then even more specific, rather not just podcasts to motivate you, but practical, you know? So you want to really know how to do something from a technical aspect. Right. There's plenty of podcasts out there, whether they be YouTube or audio, you know, to help you with that. So I'm agreeing with you, Mr. CDH Live, that, yeah, it's something that you could definitely preach and can never have too much about suiting up entirely, the mindset.
Exactly. I think of it as suiting up the mindset is like just putting on the clothes.
Yeah,
the job,
equipping you. Yes,
right?
Yeah.
And then suiting up in a practical sense.
Yes.
Is utilizing all of the tools that you need for that job.
Right. Yeah. Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Each job is going to use different tools.
Yes.
And just realizing that you don't have to limit yourself. To the tool you used last time. True.
So, yes. It's like how we've been experimenting and we have 4 minutes. Just like how we keep experimenting and we've been evolving our tools. Started with just the phone, right. with just a memo recording. Right. Eventually we found Spreaker and that stepped up the game, and then we moved on to the computer now. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we have less than 4 minutes, sorry, and I want to give us one. You mentioned Logic, so just tell us about Logic, the new update, and so for those who don't use Logic.
Who do use Logic, there's an amazing update, and so check it out in your updates.
For those who don't yes, tell us.
Logic is a professional recording software. It is
for music,
for music,
yeah,
right? Music recording and production. But
go ahead.
People tend to use it mostly for recording, and especially with this new update, you have now about 14 gigs worth of new sounds that will help increase the quality of your music production, and I'm excited about how that's going to affect my music.
Is that the primary thing that got you excited about this update? Because you've been using Logic already for a while. But
I've been using Logic already. I did a good portion of my album on Logic, and I've always... Yeah, I'll keep it simple. I'll just say the quality of the sounds that now come with it simplify the process of creating from scratch, creating without samples, and being able to just kind of remove all the limitations possible in terms of sound creation.
Okay.
Blending sounds together. It's taking it to
another level.
Yeah, so I hope I'll have the time to play with it. I shouldn't say I hope. I'm gonna get my work done while
I should put a creative challenge out there. I want to hear the first track that you do with the new Logic and get you to play a piece of it on Live and Rock.
I'll tell you about that in the future conversation.
All right. So, perfect segue. Let's get into the feature conversation, which I don't even know if it has a title. We'd really...
Just to wrap up the suit up
2 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
90 seconds, actually.
Creators.
Yes.
Sifters.
Yes.
Influencers.
Yes.
Live and Rock family.
Yes. 60 seconds.
In your mind. By having the right mindset.
Yes.
Using any inspirational resources that help you get there.
Yes.
And suit up with your practical resources, whether it be your phone, your computer,
yes,
your instruments,
yes,
whatever tools you have available, suit up.
Yes.
And know that you can use different tools for different jobs.
I want to re-emphasize, if you suit up on the mindset by taking in podcasts, etc., it will make your actual working time more productive and possibly more efficient. Just by listening when you're downtime, when you go to work, you'll be that much better because you'll already know what you need to do and avoid a lot of mistakes. So, let's go. Feature conversation coming up. We don't know. I don't know if it's a title. We don't have a title. But we're, like I said, heart to heart, identity crisis, and all of that good stuff.
All right. Going beyond the veil.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Yeah. Wow. We're here. We are live. And
are you sure you're live?
Yeah, no doubt. No question about it. There's a whole lot on my heart for this heart.
Heart to heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
I paused.
Why did you
I
pause?
drew back for a minute because the formality of the segment title is almost anti-topic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? It goes against the actual counterintuitive. That's the word. That's right.
Yeah.
So
it's weird. A lot of these instrumentals you've been playing, I'm like really digging them during our conversations.
Yeah.
But I don't really care for the songs. Sorry. Just a side note.
Actually, no, that's a good thing to start with. So I had to mention the music, which is one of the major frustrations.
Yeah.
Why we're at this crossroads. It's not really a crossroads because we're not going to blow anything up.
Right.
But the music has been my Achilles heel, and it's been a thorn in my side.
Right.
And the last 3 episodes of having the audio not properly balanced out between the vocals and the music.
Right.
I was just ready to chuck everything. So anyways, the only reason by the grace of every deity under the universe why you're able to get the music on this episode is because this update Speaker made has incorporated auto ducking.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Thank you. Perfect.
Well,
right on cue. Right on cue.
You guys set me up.
This is that's the professional at work. Take notes. Okay, so now auto ducking. So let me demonstrate for you what auto ducking is. So
I technically know what it is, but for the benefit of our listening audience,
yes,
go ahead and explain it.
Okay, fine. So rather than tell, I'm going to show and then fill in the gaps. So just for a second or two, I'm going to get you to stop talking. Okay. Okay, and now I am talking, and
yes, you are.
I'm not sure if you can pick it up. It's kind of subtle.
Yeah,
but
the volume went down.
That's right.
On the music.
On the music, right. And that was not done by yours truly.
Right. The software was able to detect that the microphones are live, and therefore the music needs to come down.
That's right. So let's do it again. This time you're going to start talking first.
So yeah, these instrumentals are similar to the quality of sound that I'm anticipating out of this new Logic Pro update.
Good. Very good stuff.
Yeah.
I like the way that as soon as you started talking about the instrumentals, the instrumentals themselves were nice and quiet. So I could actually hear the important information you had to say about that.
And very important because the vision, the goal is to bring that new sound we were hearing to the feel and the vibe that we get out of this old school track that's playing now.
Yes.
And it's not a simple task. It is not for the faint of heart.
Hold on. I think I kind of got lost. So rewind the track and come back again and just say that last comment again. What exactly is the vibe you're trying to go for on what?
We're just taking the sound quality, the bigness of some of today's more electronic based music production.
Yes.
And give it the same soul feel that you get when you hear these more classic hip hop, old school stuff that was sampled from soul records.
Yeah, from James Brown and all of that. Goodness. Oh, speaking of that, I have to go back. I was going to mention it in our Suit Up section. I was planning to do it for a long time. Another podcast.
All right.
That if you're out there aspiring, that I've been feeling.
All right, go ahead.
The microphone check.
Microphone check. NPR. And Soda Jerker songwriting podcast. That's another one.
Okay. So microphone check to break it down, because it means nothing to listeners just by saying the name. So I'll explain.
But here's the thing, though. Do it quick, because I don't want us to.
I know.
Conversation.
Just because. Okay. Go check out Microphone Check. It's a podcast hosted about hip hop music strictly on NPR. And
that's right.
It's just for
Who
you.
turned you on to that?
A guy by the name. I got by the name of CDH Live. Darn it.
That's cool.
No, I only brought it up because you were talking about the whole old school classic hip hop vibe.
Right.
And this podcast, I remember I've just been digging it crazily lately because it's about hip hop. It's hosted by the DJ of A Tribe Called Quest. The group called A Tribe Called Quest.
That's right.
Hip hop classic foundational group. Right. And they interview hip hop artists.
Yeah.
Many old school hip hop artists, and it's a good place to go if you're a young aspiring rapper or urban artist today to get information, to get your history inside history
accurate
on the hip hop industry and how it came up from the mouths of the artists themselves who were there building the foundation on which you are all able to stand now and get paid millions of bucks to just talk foolishness. That's another story for another day. Another story for real.
But that's good.
And
also check out Soda Jerker on songwriting if you're an aspiring songwriter or you're interested in the craft of songwriting. But just so that you are aware, Shell Rock listening audience, like I said, I'm a bit torn because I'm excited about sharing how much stress I've been going through. So I just briefly put together a few little notes.
All right, good stuff. Go.
What I said potentially we could talk about.
All right.
So these are my.
Do you have the show title in that?
I said these are my heart confessions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
I'm gonna write my list of heart confessions while you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm looking at how I feel sometimes there's a lack of focus in my own creative energy.
Okay.
Because I'm doing music, I'm doing video, and I'm doing graphics.
Okay.
And on top of it, we're doing the Live and Rock show.
Yes.
And sometimes it can be overwhelming how much is going on. Also, at the same time, I'm like, sometimes I feel like I have to do that variety because, like, I feel like maybe I'm ADD, like I can't focus on the same thing for too long without burning out. And then I'm also looking at the new format. We've been talking about sort of revamping the format of the video show for Live and Rock.
Yes.
I'm thinking about this live recording that we're supposed to be doing this year. I'm thinking about my own live recording this year.
You got too much on the plate, bro.
Too much on the plate. And I'm thinking about the fact that I haven't put out any new music for a long, long time. It feels like a long, long time.
Yeah.
And so before I hijack the whole episode with laying it all out on the table for you, those are some of the things I'm thinking of. But I have to say one last thing before I give you over, let you take the therapist's seat or whatever.
I don't know if you're gonna get a therapist today, but
but here's
you might get an enabler because I'm kind of feeling in the same zone as you. But go on.
So every creator wants to inspire at some point, and like I said, I haven't really been putting out new things other than Live and Rock lately. And recently, like as in today, someone told me, I wish I could tell this story better, but someone told me basically that they were inspired by an Instagram post that I put out.
Okay. Do you remember what it was specifically?
Yeah. I got this new app, and I posted one of those little inspirational graphics, and it says the best way to get something done is to begin.
Oh, wow. And I heard a similar quote today on that same creative podcast that I told you about.
Yeah.
And the quote was, Darn it. You know what? I forget it. It was something to do with the best way to... Well, the road to clarity is to take action.
Okay.
Right?
Similar.
Road to clarity is to take action. Because once you start taking an action, then...
Yeah. Which is interesting, too, because I guess that's kind of where I am, too. Because I'm like... Posting this, actually, what makes it significant to me, anyway...
Yes.
Is that posting this was... one of those actions for me, because I don't really like social media. Like, I don't like having to post stuff.
Yeah.
Even though everybody says I have to do it.
Yeah, no.
I don't like it.
Join the club.
I don't even necessarily like looking at my Facebook feed or my Twitter feed
Right.
or my Instagram feed.
Right.
Instagram I probably will do the most because it's just images.
Right.
But yeah, I was just like, okay, this is something I can do as a step.
Right, yeah.
So
yeah.
I put it out there, and it took me a long time. That's the part that's crazy about it.
Oh, yeah?
I was like fiddling with, because I'm a perfectionist. So I'm
Yes.
fiddling with the colors, the tones, the shadows, all this stuff, trying to make it look somewhat, stand out.
Yeah.
And I don't think it does, because there's a million of these things everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? But it was just fascinating to me that I rarely get people in real life telling me. So I got likes on it.
Yes.
But this person who gave me feedback did not like it online.
Yeah.
But they felt like they needed to tell me in person that it inspired them to take action.
Yeah. That's good, yo.
So, yeah.
But something that jumped out at me as you're saying all that is that how you're like, you take so much time trying to make it look a certain way, or you just wanted to make sure it was, like you said, you're a perfectionist, so your creative take on it, and you want to stand on it. And I'm like, I think part of our problem as creatives, we're victims of our own age, our own generation, because you and I are Generation X, is it? So we're not the generation that grew up with the internet in our youth, right? So even as you just said it, like you're embracing a new technology. It requires you to embrace it. It requires you to mentally choose and act consciously and proactively, sometimes against your own natural nature, right?
Yeah.
So because we don't naturally embrace it, we do what I almost could call silly things, like waste hours on one image trying to make it look and sound a certain way before we post it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, these younger kids, they could care less. They post things constantly all day, every day with they don't care, and they just post random things, and those things just take off, and they catch flyer or whatever,
blah blah,
and they're nothing that's like, you know what I mean?
But that's the thing too. It's like, there's cotton candy and there's meat and there's actual real substance, right?
Okay.
And for me, it's just like I appreciate more often than not a good healthy meal, as in a good thoughtful creative expression.
Yes.
And I think that overall, like in general, it's just more difficult to find that in today's pop culture.
Yes. So with the advent of the internet and yes.
Right. So I'm like, I want to spend that time to make something that is unique and that is a true artistic expression.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm also learning that can be counterproductive.
Exactly.
Because when you try too hard, you block true expression.
Okay, so to that same point, exactly. So I mentioned I'm starting a blog.
Right.
And I also mentioned that I spent the last 2 weeks working on it.
Yeah, I was looking forward to ask you about that.
And 2 weeks working on a blog which has I haven't posted anything yet.
Right.
So this is exactly what I'm talking about, or what you just said.
Yeah.
Because of our nature and our generation, I think.
Yeah.
Our mindset going in is like, well, we have to do something of very deep substance and quality.
Right.
So, mind you, I wasn't twiddling my thumbs. I was working hard at trying to make the blog. I want the blog to look and reflect, have a very good quality, and represent what the blog is about. Yeah. It's about space, love, superheroes. Yeah. And my passion for all things in genre. Right. But I want it to look appealing, and I want it to have substance, and I want it to have a cool name that also reflects the fact that I'm a writer, and that I'm so good of a writer that the title has to be witty, because that's my that's my calling card. If I can't even come up with a witty title, then why would you read me? I'm not a writer, right?
That's so why all of these things on my business card for a year.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So exactly. So at what point does it become counterproductive, as you say? At this point, for me, I'm saying to myself, okay, I spent 2 hardcore weeks. Yeah. I already know what I want to write about, and I already have lots of things ready, raring to go. Like I'm passionate to talk about. But all I've been doing is meandering around this website and keep having to change it and change it and change it. Like, at this point, I'm ready to just blog. Like, I have to just let it go.
So here's the thing that I believe about myself and what you're talking about. Okay, is that it's really just taking ourselves too seriously.
Yes,
we take ourselves way too seriously. And I don't know why that is, but it seems to be the common thread is that we think that whatever it is that we're doing is going to be judged as our final swan song. When really it's just a stepping stone. And I think that's part of why we've been growing with Live and Rock, is because we started it without really caring whether or not people tuned in. Yes. And in a weird way, I feel like maybe this is one of our better episodes, but at the same time, I really don't care if anybody listens to it or not, because I'm enjoying this.
To be perfectly honest, that is the exact mindset I kind of came into this episode with. Like, I've been so frustrated with our last couple episodes from the technical aspect, and then some differences that we were talking about, you know, what we dislike about the different sections. And it got to a point where I was so frustrated because 3 episodes ago, or even the last episode, going into the last episode, I thought, yes, Live and Rock, at least nothing else. It's cemented, it's done, it's good. I don't have to think about nothing. We know what the show is, the format, blah, blah, blah. And by the time we were done and I listened to it, and I listened to how bad my audio job was, because it was my fault, I'm the audio guy, and all the other aspects that we debated about, the Pop Talk, I just got to a point where I was lost. And I was like, I'm lost. I don't know what we're doing anymore, because I thought you were as excited about the Pop Talk section as I was, and come to find out you're not. That, to me, is a major blow, because I'm like, well, I don't want him to do it. He's the co-host, so I can't. He needs to be passionately and engaged with every section the same way, or else it's just like, it's why are we doing it? You know what I mean? Right. So that was bothering me. I'm thinking about us changing the name, because, well, I want it to be more of a round table when we have guests. I don't want it to be just a one-to-one question firing interview. Right. So I was thinking of changing this Creative Couch. But anyways, I'm going in a lot of circles to say all these things were running through my mind, and I got frustrated to the point where I'm like, I just want to just chuck everything. Go back to basics. Like, fling the music out, just abandon it altogether. Forget the segments. Let's just do a raw, I just want to sit down and vent and just talk like our original, just like you said. When we first sat down last March break at my house, and we just turned on the mic and we started brainstorming live to each other on the mic, and we came up with Brothers Talk, and we were just talking and just forget.
And we were trying to come up with a name for the show during that conversation. Trying to come up with what the format would be. Blah, blah. But so maybe one day we'll put it as like a bonus or something somewhere. But I feel what you're saying. I'm like, it's just like the pressure sometimes of what we have in our minds as expectations.
Yes.
Now we have a media partner.
Yes.
And are we going to deliver for them?
For them, yeah.
Well, I truly and sincerely appreciate and love what Shifter Magazine is.
Yes.
And our relationship with them.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I kind of have to just kind of separate that from me being here and doing this.
Yes.
Right? So, there's like so much I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was actually feeling that as well. Like that's another part of it. Like I literally over the last week and a half to 2 weeks, I was like, I'm actually feeling pressure to deliver a show.
Yeah.
Because of the partnership with Shifter Magazine.
Yeah.
And it's not because like a dynamic of like boss employee relationship or like we're gonna lose, they have control just to pull the plug on us like from the network or something. It's not that. It's just the fact of knowing, okay, someone is listening.
Yeah.
There's people out there who really are paying attention now. So they are of a certain caliber and I want to represent myself and put the best quality product out there and not look bad. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That, and then also the aspect of, okay, potentially we have way more listeners and new listeners.
Right.
And I want to definitely give them quality stuff so that they come back so they don't miss the quality stuff that we have to give them.
And
so the pressure was there.
Where I'm like, what we're talking about right now, I'm like, if there is somebody out there who is, you know, in the early stages of a particular creative journey, maybe they've always been a singer, but now they're going into photography and they are really serious about it, but they're just starting out. You know, I think knowing what this journey is like through our actual experience and expression of conversation about it, I think that is of value. And so if you're listening to this and you think it's of value, you could actually write us a review on iTunes. You could tweet at LnR. You could check out our website and leave a comment on the website at liveandrock.com. But anyway, coming back.
Do that?
Of course they can.
Wow, I didn't even know that section existed.
Yo, who built the website?
You did.
Yeah, man. But anyway, so I'm like, I wanna fit so much in this episode that I know we don't have time for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about that, and I wanted to, I guess, mention real quick, if you have Instagram, what we're talking about is related to what my next Instagram post was.
Which is?
Look it up.
How can I look up your next Instagram post?
I already posted it. I mean, the follow-up to the...
I'm like, what's going on? Some time travel business is going on.
The follow-up Instagram post to the one we were talking about.
Okay, well, my phone's not on because my battery's dying, so I'm conserving
that's
energy.
A shame. So, look up CDH Live on Instagram.
So you're not going to show... Okay.
No, I'm not going to show it to you.
Oh, I thought you were going to discuss it right now.
I was going to, but since you can't pull it up, you're going to have to wait until you look at it.
Okay, I guess it wasn't that important.
That's what you think. That's what you want to think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, what I will say is, no, I actually do want to talk about it. So you caught me.
All right. You have 10 minutes.
So the next
10 minutes.
The next post I wrote
left on this episode
was, thank you, 10 minutes. Come on, we give guests more than that.
Whatever.
The next post, if you can be kind enough to read that out.
Dreams call from within, something new on every night. Soul and spirit fight. Dreams call from within, something new on every night. Soul and spirit fight. So, break it down.
I want to hear what your thoughts are on it.
Well, the first half of it, the dreams call from within, something new on every night. For me, that's the part that jumps out at me because I feel like I experience like that every day.
Yeah,
like in a literal sense.
Yeah,
like at night, is when all the inspiration and the ideas come. Sometimes it's through I'm actually working on stuff, and that's where creativity comes. But many times it's the non-conscious hours at night when I'm just lying in bed trying to go to sleep, and then ideas just start coming, and thoughts and ideas, not just specifically on the actual art or writing stuff I want to write or whatever, but even just on how to approach attacking projects and sharing them with the world, or marketing them, or direction to take the, like you said, you have like 4 or 5, 6 different things on the go, but sometimes the clarity comes when I'm just lying in bed. It says, okay, I see what you're trying to do there with the music, I see what you're trying to do there with the books, I see what you're doing there with the podcast. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. And then all of a sudden, boom, that idea comes. Oh, it's even like how I told you the name of my podcast, my blog came to me the other day when I went in the shower. I was laboring over a name for weeks. And then after I finally settled on a name, and I just, I wasn't 100% happy with it, but I just said, okay, it's been long enough. I built the site, and I registered the site on WordPress and everything, Twitter and all that. Then I went into the shower because it was all done now. Went into the shower, start getting ready for work, and boom, like lightning. When I was just like thinking about how excited I was about the blog, and then all of a sudden, boom, this cool name just dropped into my head. I was like, what the? Yo, that's bad. Yo, that's fresh. And I'm like, darn it. Just every time you're not thinking about it, when you're just completely relaxed and you let go. That's when the what was it you call it? The dreams call from within something new. That's what I see.
Dope. What about the second half?
The soul and spirit fight. That part. That's tough for me.
Okay.
I get it. I think I get it.
Okay.
Like it to me, it says to fight, basically.
Okay.
Like it's gonna be a fight, and that's the part I struggle with. Period. To fight through.
Okay.
As a creative.
Okay.
9 times out of 10. Today, doing this episode was a fight. I did not want to do this episode today at all.
Wow.
It was the first time since we've been doing Live and Rock. That I was not excited to come and record a show, and in fact, I actually just didn't want to do a show.
Wow.
In 9 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
That's how bad it was.
Wow.
But to your point, I feel like this has been a good episode because we allowed ourselves to do what we felt like, which is just scale back, let go, and just be raw and real. Raw and real. And that's what has been plaguing / missing in the last little while. That was really bothering me.
True. True.
So
that's good.
Did I pass the test? Did I get the right answer? You asked me what what does it mean, or what?
Well,
go ahead.
Does art provide answers, or sort of?
I feel like this thing keeps chipping in and out. Sorry, I didn't mean to, but my mic. Like I have 2 different. Okay, whatever. Go on.
To break it down real quick, I mean, the fact that you spoke that long about it is all I was looking for. Because I actually wrote that, whereas the first one I didn't write it. It was just like a stock inspirational message. But one of the things I crave for in my creation is that it would move people to think, or to do something, have some kind of thought, some kind of reaction. Art is supposed to have an impact on someone. And so regardless of how long it took me to write or think about it or whatever, the fact that you were able to pull something from it, even though I forced you to, it still was able to connect you to thoughts in your own mind. And so that for me was what was important because, and you probably didn't notice, but it's a haiku.
Oh, yeah. I'm not.
So haiku is like the simplest possible form of poetry on the planet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's a great haiku.
Okay.
There's obviously probably tons
yeah,
better.
Yeah.
But it was something I could do definitively and say, okay, this is a step towards getting back into my writing and getting back into putting stuff out.
But see, I like that because you're doing something super simple, right? And it's just baby steps, that action that leads to something more. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So speaking of that, after this we got to record our video, which we're changing up the format. We're gonna decide if we shoot. Well, we are gonna shoot something before you leave, but we might end up shooting some more later in the week. Depends how you feel.
Yeah. This episode honestly is coming to an end.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I have mixed feelings because there's still a lot more we could have talked about that I really want to talk about.
Yeah, me too. Like what?
For instance, the name of our podcast that they're listening to right now.
Yeah,
we're debating, or maybe it's more me than we.
Yeah,
debating changing the name to the Creative Couch with Live and Rock.
Right.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
Discussing as well the format of the show.
Okay.
And more specifically, when we have guests, to be more round table.
Right.
And how we can effectively make that happen more consistently when we have guests.
Right.
And part of us accomplishing that goal is me thinking of changing the name of the show to Creative Couch.
Right.
Because I feel like it gives a clearer description of the vibe that people can expect, and what the show is about and what we want it to be like and feel like, whether we have guests on or not. So it's just two creatives or a bunch of creatives chilling on the couch, talking creative life from all aspects.
Yeah, we could definitely talk about that for a long time.
Exactly.
We have very different opinions on it.
I wouldn't drop the Live and Rock. It'd be Creative Couch with Live and Rock.
Creative Talk with Live and no. Anyway,
so tweet us at Live and Rock. Which would you prefer? Just joking. But I mean, that's one of the things we wanted to talk about.
Talking about the conversations or some of the people that we're hoping to have on.
Yes,
soon.
yes.
Some of our guests that we have
potentially lined up.
Yes, for this year. Talking about the potential for a live recorded episode.
Yes.
And
it's not even a potential. And what the heck do I have playing in the background here?
Yeah, that is a good question.
Let's go back to some Biggie.
Yeah.
There we go, because we got to finish up.
But yeah, so I think really what happens when two hearts get together eventually comes a little baby.
They become one. Oh. What the heck?
So for me, I think the thought in my mind is that it's all about those baby steps. And as long as you keep taking those baby steps, eventually you're going to get stronger. Your steps are going to get longer and you'll start moving faster.
Wow. Jeez. Yo, this guy, man. Yo, I'm almost vexed, man. This guy's so coming out with these nuggets. So simple yet so profound. I was like, what the heck? Why didn't I say that? Why didn't I think of that? This guy is real. You're really a preacher, eh?
Stop. This guy.
No, but it's true. It's good. I love that. Like, that's a perfect image. Like baby steps, and eventually you get stronger.
Yeah.
And they get wider, and your stride becomes more, and then it gets fat. Yo, literally, that's what we've been doing with this show.
Yeah.
Except now that I'm shook. Now I'm kind of shook now that we're starting to get a little bit faster. But anyways. So that's a good. I think that's a good place to end. That was a very good word to end on.
I'd like to let you, ladies and gentlemen, know that. How do I want to say this?
What?
I was going to say the show is brought to you, but it's really not brought to you by. But for those of you who don't know, this year is going to mark some new ground for CDH Live Productions. Mm-hmm. So music production, video production, graphics and web. Mm-hmm. I got a big meeting tomorrow with a new client.
Okay.
Who says that she was inspired by the website I did for my last client. Nice. And that's the thing. All of my production work has all come through just living life and people hearing about what I do. Yeah. And so 2016 is the year where I'm just going to be a little bit more free with talking about what I do.
I think that's a good place to end, because what I want us to do, and what I was hoping to do, is to talk a little bit more about who we are.
Yeah.
And I was just debating whether or not we should try and squeeze a quick Cole's Note version for our new listeners here at the end.
That was mine.
Well, no, that's from someone who knows what you do. That was not the Cole's Note. That was way less than the Cole's Note. There's too much.
Here's a thought.
No.
Sorry.
Okay. Stick a pin in that. What I want you to do is...
Some people don't know what that means. You know?
Okay, just hold your tongue. I want you to hold on to that for the next episode. Because our next episode was supposed to be with a guest.
Yeah.
As was this one.
Right.
But we've been debating about it. And for many different reasons, partly because we haven't been able to confirm with that guest yet. Anyway, so bottom line is, with or without that guest, I think that I would like us both to go a little bit more in depth on our next episode about who we are and what we have planned individually for this year.
Right.
Even if we do happen to get our guest on, we will have lots of time to do that if they confirm. And if they don't confirm, I think we can continue the next episode as is. Because I think we're at a place right now where we need to kind of strike a balance between getting back to basics while holding on, while
just stepping back for a second
to breathe. Not even breathe, almost like a reset, a halftime, if you will. Halftime in the game. Yeah. Right?
Are you even excited about the halftime show, by the way?
Which halftime show? Super Bowl?
Okay, I guess
exactly. And on that note, so stay tuned for the next episode of Live and Rock, coming to you on iTunes.
That's right. And I'd like to also close off with a special closing segment that I just invented literally right this second in my brain.
Good.
But this closing segment on episode 18 is shout out for Black History Month.
True.
Shouting out the godfather of soul, the hardest working man in show business, the most sampled man in hip hop, Mr. James Brown.
Yeah.
For those of you who are of the newest generation, look up James Brown and listen to This Is a Man's World.
This is a man.
Listen to the Funky Drummer.
Yeah.
Listen to Black and Proud.
Dang, I wish I had something queued up, man. You gotta warn me next time.
James Brown, shout out the man who gave the moves to Michael Jackson.
Our next episode should be a music episode. That's been long overdue.
We've been planning that for quite some time.
And with a guest that we are hoping to have next week, it's supposed to be a music episode. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for listening, folks.
Indeed.
We have to run. Listening. But that's the good thing about the creative life. You're never done. Yeah. So it's always good that we come to the end and there's lots more. So it gives you a reason to come back.
True indeed.
Right? So in the meantime, like we always like to say,
hit us
the
up.
Reason why we're here. Okay, hit us up at Live and Rock.
Yeah, we say that all the time. And mostly the feedback comes through Facebook.
Yeah. So we're going to work on that. That's another thing I'm frustrated about. We're going to talk about that on next episode. I think we're going to continue this part 2 next episode of this topic.
Yeah.
This smorgasbord of...
You notice I'm kind of just delaying the closing?
Yes, I know.
I'm doing it only semi-intentionally.
Okay. but Spreaker is going to
we got to go back
cut
to
you
the
off
real
regardless
world,
whether you're ready or not in a few
Yeah.
seconds. So this episode, for your information, by the way, is already an hour and a half.
What?
Yes, we've exceeded our time by.
Okay.
This is a double. Do we call it double album?
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So I'll let you do the honors since you always do.
All right. Well, I guess what we were talking about, baby steps and all of that good stuff. So 2016 doesn't really matter if you're ready or not. As long as you suit up. If you're going to live, you might as well
rock.
Whatever it is.